Hello guys. I thought I would just make a short video because as of a couple of weeks ago I graduated the University of Sunderland with my performing arts degree. I still don't know the classification yet. It could be a first class degree with honours, so fingers crossed. Basically today, well, I had applied for a couple of sort of performing arts based things. There was a job at the Customs House as a director, which I was unsuccessful in. And there was another thing that I'd applied for, which I kind of just written off because it was for the Tyne Theatre and Opera House in Newcastle. And they kind of said in their advert they would only invite professionals for an audition. So I was like, oh well, that's probably not going to be me. But I did get invited for an audition, and that audition was today. I had, because I work full time still at the moment in the care home, what I had to do in order to rehearse, because I still live in a tiny one bed flat while waiting for my house purchase to go through. That better bloody hurry up though. So what I had to do was book rehearsal space in the university, because until a certain point in July, I'm still classed as a student of Sunderland. So there were certain days where I was working like a 7:30 till 2:30 kind of shift. And the building doesn't close till 6. So I then booked rehearsal space from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until the building closes. And I did that. I was supposed to do 3 nights a week, but I had to change shifts for somebody. So I only had 2 rehearsals to choose these 2 contrasting musical theatre songs. And picking the songs was a bugger and a half. In the end, I decided to go with In My Own Little Corner from Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, and Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again from Phantom, because of course I would sing a Phantom song. I love Phantom, just in case you weren't aware. So my audition today was at 3:10. It said to get there 10 minutes early so that you get your temperature taken and stuff. And I got there, well, I got into Newcastle relatively early, and I was like wandering about looking in shops and stuff, going in all the geek shops, you know. But I actually got outside the theatre 50 minutes before my audition was due to start, so I was sat there at like 2:20, like, oh well, what can I do now? So I decided to warm up outside, and I was sat in the middle of Newcastle singing to myself. I think they thought I was a bit strange, but that's okay. Us performing arts people tend to be a bit strange. I went in to the theatre after signing in and everything. I was led up to the stage, and I suppose I kind of just wanted to talk about my first audition process and stuff, whether it would help anybody else. So they took me up, and they were very nice. They were very chatty straight away, because my name's spelled a bit funny. It's spelled with double S-I-A rather than S-H-A. And they were like, oh, it is Natasha, isn't it? That is how you say it. I was like, yes. My dad was a bit of a sci-fi nerd. He wanted to call me Cassiopeia. I'm very glad he went with the alternative option. So went up, and this lad introduced me to the panel and the pianist who was playing. That is probably the part I was most nerve-wracking about. It was because I'd had to practice with random piano accompaniments that I'd found on YouTube, because I can't read music and play the piano myself. So I wasn't sure how it would sound when the pianist did it, or whether I would go when he went, or whether he would wait for me to go, you know. So that, it made me feel very very nervous. I've been quite nervous all day, really, and I don't normally get nervous for shows or auditions, if I'm really honest. But so I went up, met all the panel and everything, said hello, had a nice little chat with them. They were very, very lovely people. So I went over and gave the pianist my music and came and stood in my spot with my water. Always take a bottle of water to an audition, because nerves can sometimes get to your voice, so it's best just before you start singing, just take a little drink, and that'll sort of like lubricate all your vocal cords. But don't pop a lozenge straight before an audition. If you're going to have one, have it a couple hours beforehand, so that like your voice can be unpredictable if you have a lozenge and you've just had one just before you start singing. So none of that. So I sang my first song, which was In My Own Little Corner, and the first verse I was kind of just stood and singing, and I was like, I feel like I should be moving. This song is a lot more characteristic, you know? So in the second verse, when it's like, I'm a thief in Calcutta, I'm a queen in Peru, I started doing loads of little actions and stuff, which I probably looked like an absolute tit, but that's what we have to do, isn't it? That is just what we do. And then once I'd finished that, I was a bit more nervous, but slightly relaxed at the same time. I was like, oh no, my voice, it didn't quite hit the notes I wanted, but hey. So then I did my Phantom of the Opera song, which is I'm always comfortable with Phantom of the Opera songs. There's a couple of notes I wasn't too pleased with, but I was fine. And that is a stand and sing kind of song. So you just pick a spot on the back wall and just sing to it and show emotion and act through your face, you know. And then it was just kind of like, oh, okay, thank you, it's been really nice meeting you, sort of thing. And okay, get all my stuff and go. But I think the most important thing for me personally to remember is I auditioned for this and I didn't think I was going to get called for an audition. At the moment I'm working full time because I've got a house to pay for, and I mean, at the end of the day, if I do get it, then that's wonderful, and like it's a chance for me, and it's extra money and all sorts. But if I don't get it, it's not the end of the world, because I've still got a job, and this would have just been something extra. It was an experience, because getting into that audition space, it was an experience, and it was my first professional audition. And 9 times out of 10, when you're an actor or a singer, like performer, you are going to get rejected, and you have to get used to that rejection. So you need to be made of thicker skin, if you know what I mean. But anyway, that's all I had to say. I just wanted to share my experience with you all. I hope you have a lovely day, and see you later.